When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. Hey, that's almost like one of your turkey bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here's Dante Pettis on the return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The 49ers getting set to trot out there. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
2nd and short. Is it a no-brainer to think I give it to my fullback and I pick it up?
You would think a no-brainer, but that time able to hit him for a loss.
Yeah, definitely was not a gimme, was it?
Garoppolo going to try and throw on 3rd. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 22. Goff now to throw. And Cooks has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it indeed. Here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
And that'll be incomplete. Cooper Kupp was his intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. On 2nd and 10, Goff. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. On 3rd down, they'll run it with Gurley. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here.
Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Garoppolo to throw on second down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mark Barron. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Well, this wind is definitely going to be a factor as this game goes along. He's throwing straight into it here in the first quarter, and the ball fluttered on him a little bit. He'll definitely have to file that one away and make a mental note of it.
The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field.
They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
After the interception, here's Goff. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to the air. Goff on second down. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up third down.
The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Throwing on third. Goff. And that is incomplete.
Well, you got a receiver here who's got one touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage and make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
And his kick is good. And that will make our score 9-0.
The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there.
And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Here we go. Black 80.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. He'll get 3 of those penalty yards back here, leaving him with a 2nd and 12.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
run it now with Juszczyk. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here we go.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They'll try and run for it. This is Juszczyk. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 4th down.
I get the thought process. 3rd and short, give it to the fullback, let him bulldoze his way. But that means you're counting on your offensive line to win the line of scrimmage, aren't you?
Yeah, and there was just a mass of bodies there at the line. Looked like more defenders than offensive guys. Winds up losing yardage. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 26. From the gun, here's Goff. It's caught left side by Cooks. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
To throw is gone. Big hold to the 30. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And all the way up to the 35-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. The numbers on the ground for Gurley last week. 10 carries, 51 yards.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
Now Goff on 1st down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Hold on. Check.
Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10. Back live now to begin the 2nd quarter. From the 50, it's gone. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the... cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They go play action here on 1st down. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. And he slings one that's incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. And it's 3rd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to the ground game here. Gurley. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And no return here. This one's going inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. Well, he tried to bounce it outside, but that's obviously not his game. He's too much of a straight-line runner.
Yeah, him in the outer third of the field, not a recipe for success. That time a loss.
120!
Now Garoppolo throwing on second. Looking for Garcon, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have him set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Pretty solid coverage there by the All-Pro Richard Sherman, able to get a hand in.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
He'll get it up the middle. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and goal.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this 1st half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the 2nd quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Back to the air on second. It's Garoppolo. And that's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
The Niners on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Goodwin able to haul it in. That's the first catch of the game for Goodwin. It's a first down.
And the key number on that play, 3. Third play of the drive, 3rd down. Spectacular catch turns into a first down.
First down saves them from a 3-and-out. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. First man through, it's the fullback use check. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Michael Brocker's in on the stop.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defensive coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
They'll run it now out of the gun. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Sheldon Day in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it'll be 4th down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Rams will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. Brandon Cooks and the rest of the offensive crew trotting back into place out there. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in his zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate him.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. And that's caught inside the 30. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Following the penalty, it's Gurley. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
To throw on second down is gone. Throw complete right side to Cooks. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
On first down, it's Gurley. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Goff. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Solomon Thomas in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to more NFL action on EA Sports after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for L.A. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be second down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one. This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Here's Goff now on second down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Great solid coverage there by the All-Pro Richard Sherman, able to get a hand in. Richard Sherman there to knock that one away. We've seen that a few times in his career.
And he played a very tough route really well there. Dig route. Oftentimes you get the impression receivers going deep and tries to get your hips turned and you taking off and running. Instead, he stays square, stays with him, and comes back and makes a play on the ball. One of the best things about him, takes very few false steps.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. And that'll bring up second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now McKinnon. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. McKinnon. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. And the Rams are going to go ahead and take another timeout, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Here's Jordan Berry now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is fielded at the 27. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Out of the gun. Gone. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Second and 10. Goff again. And he comes back with one complete. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. So we've come to halftime. It's the visiting Rams taking the lead to the break. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10.
All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line.
Holding, receiving team.
Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And now running right through it. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
A play fake to Gurley. Now gone. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Solomon Thomas in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Gone. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Solomon Thomas getting him once again, his third sack of the afternoon.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. To throw is Garoppolo. Throw left side, caught by Goodwin. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
And it's caught off the deflection. Garoppolo to his tight end, Kittle, for a Niner first down.
Sometimes luck is all you need. That was not even the intended receiver on that play.
Well, Johnny on the spot, though.
Yeah, and it turned into a big play for those guys on offense. They'll take it each and every time.
Garoppolo, 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10.
Here we go. Black 80!
Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. Looking deep downfield. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. Now a play fake. Garoppolo. Caught left side. Garcon. And great yardage here all the way deep into Los Angeles territory. A big play. Garoppolo to Garcon. 54 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. On the toss, it's McKinnon. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Jarek McKinnon, his first touchdown on the year. And the 49ers get a score closer. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays, and it's capped off by a 13-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And we move to spotlighting Brandon Cooks. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Eric Armstead. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Like how they started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. Now it's gone. Dumps it off to Gurley. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call.
Holding, offense.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding goal.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Just beating the play clock is gone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Pass interference. Defense.
So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. Here's the correct call.
On the counter, Gurley. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing. in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at the 20.
180! 120!
And the first play of the drive goes to McKinnon. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's McKinnon, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Garoppolo, a dump down to McKinnon. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Back to the air. Goff on 2nd down. And that's incomplete. He was looking for Cooper Kupp there. 3rd down here.
But sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A Ram first down as Goff finds Kupp.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Goff on first down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Dante Moncrief. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Rams add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts. All right, because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They run once more with McKinnon. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the 4th and final quarter. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Garoppolo now, perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Complete to the right. This is Garcon. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
From midfield, here's Garoppolo. He hits Jermaine Kearse. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? From the gun, it's Garoppolo. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Jerick McKinnon. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the 49ers make some inroads here on that deficit. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll try the air now with Goff. And Cooks has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
Throwing on third. Goff. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And San Francisco gets set to go here.
Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive, that culminating touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now. They have to feel great about their opportunity.
That one goes for 24 yards.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. And I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
Deep ball for Goodwin. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off near the 34, and he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Now this will go for 5 up to the 33. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Another carry now for Gurley. And he'll take this one down to the 36. The tackle there by Richard Sherman. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Now it's Gurley, and he'll be taken down at the 34. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here.
Ric Flair. Louis.
Back to the workhorse today. It's Gurley. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. So now the Rams send out the field goal team here. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. So with that miss, Charles, you have to figure their fate, it might be sealed.
Yeah, you needed 2 scores. So you take the field goal first and then worry about getting the ball back. But that may not matter now.
Now McKinnon to start the drive. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. The 49ers moving hastily. They're scurrying to the line. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. He's got Curse. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. Now Garoppolo. And that's off the mark, incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jerick McKinnon there. And now it's 2nd down.
Started to look like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Garoppolo to try again on second down. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Garoppolo looks to throw once more. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. So we're back to a 1-score game, and now you figure we'll likely see an onside kick.
Yeah, they've only got the 1 timeout remaining, so I think they've got to take a chance at getting the ball back.
And the hands team for the Rams able to secure the football.